We're going to start tonight on our backs, but before we do, I just want to make sure that you have the necessary props that you might need. We're going to be using a yoga strap. So if you have one of those, let's have that handy. Give you time to grab that. You can also use a dish towel or a belt. We're also going to be using a block tonight and a blanket. If you don't have a block, you can use a cushion, or if you don't have a blanket, you can also fold your mat, double it over, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit later tonight. And we'll begin. I'll give you a few minutes to gather up your things, and then we'll get started. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and begin. Have your strap fairly close to you because we're going to use that right away. We're actually going to begin a little unusual tonight. We're going to begin in Shavasana. So go ahead and bring your knees together and just swirl your body around and come down onto your elbows. We're coming down very gently because we have not yet warmed up tonight, and this is just the easiest, most gentle way to get down to the floor. And then once you get down on the floor, it sometimes is hard to go into Shavasana if you're not warmed up. Sometimes the low back is a bit arched, so maybe just try pressing the low back into the mat and maybe even bend the knees. We want to be comfortable as we set up our breath and begin to center. So find whatever might be comfortable for you. I'm going to recommend that you come into a reclined butterfly, which is Supta Baddha Konasana. Kind of an easy way to start. And you can take your hands and just place them right on your thighs or maybe on your lower abdominal area. Press your shoulders into the mat. Go ahead and close your eyes and fully melt into your mat and just begin to relax. And let's begin to connect our breath. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in from your nose as though you're surprised to see somebody. Exhaling through your nose as though you're fogging up a mirror. And you're going to start to hear that in the back of your throat. That's your Ujjayi yoga breath. Let's do that again. Breathing in deeply. Exhale through your nose. And notice how the stress is just rolling off into your mat. Continuing that breath, breathing in deeply, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if your legs are getting tired, you can move down into Shavasana. Now you should be a little more relaxed. Let's take another deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a nice time in the practice to set up an intention for tonight's practice. And it could be something as simple as a word. It could be a word like patience, love, gratitude. Anything that comes to mind that's a positive word you can refer to. It could be an affirmation or a prayer or a goal. And the reason why we set these intentions is because sometimes during our yoga practice, doesn't matter what type of practice we're doing, our mind will begin to wander. We'll start to think about what we need to do after we're done with yoga, or what we need to do tomorrow, or what happened earlier today that made us angry. We want to let all of that go and just fully engage in this hour and devote this hour to relaxation, meditation, and our yoga practice. So with that being said, let's take another deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go ahead and just release your hands. Bring your palms to the ceiling. Melt even deeper into your mat. Hearing your breath. in the back of your throat. And then on your next breath, we're going to go ahead and slide the right foot up to the mat, bending the knee, and just allowing the left leg to stay relaxed. And we're going to take our strap. And go ahead and unroll your strap and find about 2 inches of your strap and hold right up above you. And then lift your head just very slightly and place your foot, your right foot, right into that strap. The strap's going to hit right in the center of that foot. And then go ahead and lift that foot up towards the ceiling and take the remains of your strap and place them on your right side. And your left hand is just going to relax right beside your body. Your right hand is going to begin doing the work. And let's go ahead and just bring that right leg towards us, drawing it. You're going to feel a little bit of a pull in your hamstrings and in your sciatica, right back behind the leg. Maybe even draw your toes towards your forehead. You'll feel a deeper stretch. And then on your next breath, we're going to do a little flow. If you've been with me before, you know the drill, because this is something I love to do. So with our breath, we're going to go ahead and just let that right leg drop to the right side. And then inhale, bring that right leg back up, switch hands and let the right arm come down. Leg crosses this whole body and comes to the left side. Doesn't have to touch the floor. Inhale, leg comes back up, switch hands, gracefully bring that leg down. And then inhale back up, keeping this flow going just as gracefully as you can. Inhale back up. Exhale, leg comes down. Inhale, leg comes up, switch hands. Exhale, leg comes down. And then on your next breath, the leg comes back up. Then go ahead and bend that right knee, remove the strap, bring that foot right back down to the mat and slide it all the way down. And be aware of how the mat feels under your feet. That's part of our meditation. Then on your next breath, go ahead and bend the left knee, feeling the mat under that left foot. Once again, gently lift the head and place the strap right in between the foot. And then straighten that left leg. Once again, the strap comes over, excess comes over to the left side, and you're going to begin with the left arm. And you can just let that right arm rest. We'll begin on the left side. So go ahead and on your next breath and let that leg come to the left. Maybe it touches the floor, maybe it doesn't. And then inhale, leg comes up, switch hands, exhale, leg crosses over the body. Maybe the hip comes up off the floor, that's okay. Inhale, leg comes up, exhale, leg comes left. Inhale, up, exhale, across. Inhale, up, exhale, across. One more set. Inhale, leg comes up, exhale, leg comes across, and inhale, leg comes up. Go ahead and bend that knee, gently remove the strap and just move it to the side. And then go ahead and this time press your left foot into the mat and draw the right foot up to join it. So both knees are bent, and go ahead and bring your arms out to a T. And let's just do a little more breath work. We're going to windshield wipe our knees with our breath. So allowing your knees to fall to the right. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back up. Exhale, knees fall to the left. Inhale, knees come up. And if you want to, you can even gaze over opposite shoulders as you do this. Inhale, knees come to the right, gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, knees go left, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, knees come up. Nice work. And then we're going to go ahead and bend our knees, grab our knees and just pull the knees in toward the chest. Maybe make a little rock side to side. Just waking up the body a little bit. Hearing our breath in the back of our throat with our Ujjayi breathing. And then on our next breath, we're going to just roll to our right side. Maybe even using our arm as a little pillow and just resting our head into our arm. You can close your eyes here. Almost a fetal position, just breathing in. Exhaling out. Breathing in. Exhaling out and keeping your mind staying right on the present, focused right on the now. Inhale, exhale, and then we're slowly going to press ourselves up onto our mat. And this is a great place to use your block. Adds a little bit of height, takes a little pressure off of the knees, allows for the sit bones to open up a little, not the sit bones, the hip connectors to open up a little bit. So let's go ahead and grab your block or your cushion, or if you don't have those things, it's perfectly fine just to press your sit bones into the mat. And sitting in a nice easy pose, sitting up nice and tall, creating some length through the torso area. Imagining that there's this little string holding your head up from the ceiling. Let's go ahead and lift our shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back open, creating that space, and let's take another breath together. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can keep it at 4 if you like. 5 just relieves a little more stress. Then on your next breath, we're going to sweep our arms up towards the ceiling and palms are going to meet. And once they do, we're going to bend our arms, framing our face with our elbows and the tips of our fingers. And we're going to work on our shoulders right now. We're going to just do a few exercises that will keep us from curling in our shoulders. We tend to do that when we sit a lot at our desks. We curl our shoulders in. When we look at our cell phones, we curl our shoulders in. It's a safety thing. We all do it. We don't even realize it. So we're going to do a few things today that will prevent that, help us to work on that. So on your next breath, we're going to go ahead and just rotate those fingertips towards the back wall. Elbows come up a little bit. And then inhale, bring those fingertips back up. Exhale, rotate the fingers back. Inhale, back up to the top. Exhale, fingers go to the wall. Exhale, to the ceiling. One more. Inhale, fingers go to the wall. Exhale, fingers come to the ceiling. From here, go ahead and clasp your hands together. Just interlace your fingers and place them right behind your head. Continuing with that same exercise of not hunching over. So on your next breath, we're going to just squeeze our elbows together. They may not touch, or they may touch. And then open the elbows out towards the walls. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. 2 more. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. Nice work. Keeping your hands clasped, you're going to just draw your hands right back up to the ceiling. Get a nice stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bend your elbows again. And this time we're going to rotate a little bit. And your right elbow is going to come right to the top of your head, almost like a little hat. And you're going to take a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, you're going to rotate that left elbow. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. 1 more. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Nice work. Our shoulders may be getting a little tired and sore now. So let's just go ahead and take our hands and place them right on our knees and just gently roll out your shoulders. Just with your breath, breathing in, exhaling out. And then on your next breath, just go the other direction. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back to neutral, let's take our hands, place them on our waist, and this time we're actually going to hunch. We're going to lean forward, we're going to round the spine, maybe even gaze at the floor, might even feel kind of nice. And then on their next breath, you're going to draw your shoulder blades together and reach those elbows to the back wall, opening up through the chest. Let's continue this. Inhale, hunch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, hunch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, hunch. Exhale, reach. 2 more. Inhale, hunch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, hunch. Exhale, reach. Nice work. Let's go ahead and remove that block and keep it handy, but keep it out of the way because we don't need it for a little while. And we're just going to go ahead and bring our feet out in front of us. Maybe draw the toes a little bit towards our forehead. This alone is a nice stretch. And we're just going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you have an option here. You can either grab your strap and place your strap right where we had it before, but our legs are together this time. And maybe give yourself a little pull. Maybe notice that that even helps your posture, just to pull. Nice sitting up straight and tall. And then bring the straps together and walk your hands towards your feet. Now, if you're not into using a strap so much, you can do the same thing by just sweeping your arms up towards the ceiling and taking a little fold. A little tip here, you don't have to touch your toes. I see a lot of people grab their toes and pull them. That's a good way to get an injury. We don't want to hurt ourselves. So all you really have to do is, if you're not using your strap, just place your hands on either side of your feet or either side of your ankles. Draw your toes towards your forehead, and the toes will do the work for you. Sometimes we have tight hamstrings, and so we put a little bend in our knee, and that is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm going to go back to demoing the strap and just pull and hold this for maybe 2 more breaths. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale and exhale, and then release. And while we're in this nice position, let's do a half dragon. So we're just going to send this right leg out to the side, take this left leg, bend it, and press the left foot right into the right thigh. Take your waist and just rotate it right even with that right leg. This time, let's go ahead and sweep our arms up towards the ceiling and take a fold. And if you want to use your strap instead, just bring that strap along. Same concept, just place it right at the middle of the foot and take your fold. And take your gaze towards maybe your shin, maybe your ankle, and just hold this, hearing your breath in the back of your throat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly, very gently come up. Keep your strap handy, and we're going to go to a full dragon. So we're going to take this left leg and send it out. Don't worry if you can't get your V very wide. It doesn't really matter. You're going to take a block, and you can place your block on level number 1, level number 2, or level number 3. I like level number 3. That way I can just place my elbows here and rest on my hands, my fingertips. Sometimes you might want to try a little deeper stretch and come to level 2. You might even want to try level 1, or you might even not want to not have the block at all. But work into that. See how it feels on your low back. I'm going to come back to level 3, and we're going to just hold this, hearing our breath. And if you've lost your breath, remember, breathe in as though you're surprised to see somebody, and exhale as though you're fogging up that mirror. and you will hear that ocean in the back of your throat. So let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on up and release that. And you can place your block to the side. Option to grab your strap, because we're going to do the half dragon on the left side. So taking that right leg, bending the knee and pressing that foot right up against the left thigh. Take your waist and just turn it to the left. Either sweep your arms up as we demoed earlier, or take your strap and place it right in between the feet. You can gather the strap together and just walk your hands down. And let's just hold this, hearing your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Nice work. Put all of that to the side, all of your props, and we're going to be coming onto our knees now for a tabletop. If you have sensitive knees, this is a good time to get your blanket if you have one, or as I told you, I would demo for you how to just use your mat and fold it in half, and then you have an automatic knee pad. You may even have a knee pad at home that you're using right now. So once we're in our tabletop position and everybody's together, flatten your feet. Take a look at your hands. We want to make sure that they are active. We don't want to have dead hands. So take a look at your fingertips and make sure that they are spidered into your mat, pressing into the mat, leaving little indentations. We do this because it will keep our wrists safe from injuries, and it will also prevent pain later on throughout the week or later in the day. It's just a good practice if you're ever in a position of tabletop or down dog. So let's go ahead and just begin to make some movement. Maybe move your left hip towards the left wall, and then rotate your right hip towards the right wall. And just begin making some little rotations, moving your hip side to side, feeling the spine as it curves one direction, then the other direction. And maybe even rotate your spine, make some little circles, going around slowly, just loosening everything up. And then on your next breath, we're going to take a cat-cow. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling with our head, drawing our belly button in towards our spine, and then exhale, drawing our chin towards our chest. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Let's do one more. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Nice work and nice breath. We're going to on our next breath, we're going to reach out our right hand. Thumb faces the ceiling, reach the back foot, the left foot back, toes face the floor. This is a balance. Before we balance, we're going to actually touch our elbow to our knee. So inhale, touch the knee. Exhale, reach out. Inhale, touch the knee. Exhale, reach out. We're going to do one more. Inhale, touch the knee. Exhale, reach out. And then we're going to stay. You can stay right here. Or if you want a little bit more, just reach back behind you, find that foot and lift it up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift it a little higher, maybe even a little higher, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take your hand and just the hand comes down. Foot is going to rotate towards that back wall. So your foot is very flat. We're going to work on our glutes, our hamstrings, and lift that foot up towards the ceiling, lifting, taking your gaze towards the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower that knee down, and we're going to send the hips back towards the heels, making some nice circles. Make sure your spine goes along for the ride. Maybe the shoulders and the head even goes along. And after about the third time around, send those circles in the opposite direction. Pressing the fingertips into the mat. And then once we're finished with that, we will meet up back in our tabletop and make any kind of movements that you need to before working the left side. So once you're ready, reach that left hand out, thumb faces the ceiling, reach the right foot out, toes face the floor. And we're gonna do our little exercise. Inhale, elbow to knee, exhale, out. Inhale, elbow to knee, exhale, out. Inhale, elbow to knee, exhale, out. And then we're gonna balance, and you have a choice. You can stay right here, or if you want a little bit more, reach back behind you, grab that foot, lift it up towards the ceiling, take your gaze to the floor, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just the palm comes down and the toes flatten. They face the back wall. Let's go ahead and do our glutes. Lifting up towards the ceiling, working those glutes, working those hamstrings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower that knee down, and let's just press right on back into a child's pose, reaching towards that front part of the mat. Now, if your shoulders are already starting to bother you, or if they have been bothering you, just reach them along the sides and press your forehead into the mat and just hold that. I'm going to go ahead and bring mine forward. It's a choice here, so do what you like, what feels the best for you. I'm going to straighten my mat too. And just enjoying this child's pose. And on your next breath, we're going to twist it. So think about your next breath, breathe in, and go ahead and reach up towards the ceiling with your right arm and thread the needle. Just thread it right underneath the left, press that right ear into the mat, maybe even walk your fingers on the left side forward just a little bit. Now you can stay right here, or if you want a little bit more, you can take this left hand and just reach it back behind you. Breathing in, exhaling out. Breathing in, exhaling out. And then go ahead and release that. Bring both hands towards the front of your mat and just stretch those fingers. Maybe even draw the elbows in and press the forehead into the mat. There's so many different options. Really do what feels the best for your body. And on your next breath, we're going to do the other side. So let's go ahead and lift that left arm and thread it underneath the right. This time, the left ear is going to come to the mat. Option to stay right here, or to take that right arm and wrap it behind you, holding it for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then releasing that, let's go ahead and press back up into our tabletop. Draw your knees right underneath the hips, and let's take a final cat-cow while we're in this position. Breathing in for cow, exhaling for cat. And then get ready, because we're going to take our first downward facing dog of the evening. We're going to go ahead and tuck our toes, lift our knees, and then lift our hips all the way up, taking our gaze to the back wall. And go ahead and pedal out your feet, drawing one heel down as the opposite knee bends. Staying here for 3 breaths. Believe it or not, this is a resting pose. A lot of people new to yoga say, what? This is a resting pose? But it actually is. And then on your next breath, we're going to go ahead and raise the right leg. Lift it up towards the ceiling, maybe even point the toes, and then bend the knee, draw it through. Maybe the knee even touches your chest, and come into a warrior 1. I'm going to turn towards the camera. So coming into a warrior 1. Take a look at your back foot. Your back foot should be facing about 11 o'clock. Arms are straight, reaching towards the ceiling as though somebody's trying to pull you right through the ceiling. holding this, holding this. And then on your next breath, you're going to come into a warrior two. And I'm going to turn this way so you can get a better look at what that looks like. So your knee is stacked right over the ankle. Shoulders are stacked right over the hips. Gaze is right in between your fingertips. Holding this, holding this. And then on your next breath, we're going to reverse our warrior. We're going to just flip our right hand up, reach our left hand back, and reach with our right hand towards the ceiling. Exhale, come right back to warrior two. Make this a flow. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Nice work. And then on your next breath, we're going to just rotate right at the waist. And we're going to press down into the mat. And we're going to send that right leg back so that we're right back into our down dog. Now, if you do need to come down and take a little break, maybe come into a child's pose, know that you can take that at any time. Anytime you feel like you've had a lot of strain on your wrists, take a break by all means. There's nothing wrong with that. This is your practice. Make it what feels good to you. So, meeting back up into that down dog. And if you're not there, just jump in when you're ready. Staying here for 3 breaths. Noticing if your fingertips are pressing firmly into the mat. And then on your next breath, go ahead and raise that left leg. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Bend that knee. Draw it through and plant that foot right in between. And if you notice, my foot doesn't quite make it. So what I do is I take my hand and I just give it a little help and come right into warrior one on the left side. I'm going to face the camera. And check your back foot. Make sure it's at about 2 o'clock. Arms are straight up. Fingers are like starfish, as though someone's just pulling you through the ceiling. Holding this, holding this. And then on your next breath, you're going to just come right into warrior two. Taking your gaze right in between your fingers. Breathing, inhale. Exhale. Hearing that yoga Ujjayi breath. And then on your next breath, we're going to do that same flow where we're going to reverse our warrior. Palm goes up. Arm goes behind on the right side, and then exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. One more. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Nice work. On your next breath, go ahead and rotate at the waist. And you're going to go ahead and press down. And this time we're just going to rotate those toes so they're facing the front wall. Bend that right knee and take a little step so that your right foot meets your left. And we're going to turn this into a ragdoll. I'm going to face you so you can see what that looks like. Ragdoll is where you just bend your knees a little bit and you just hang out. You just let your arms hang, let your head hang. There are other options here. You can actually intertwine your elbows. Maybe shake your head yes. Maybe shake your head no. One of my personal favorites is to take my hands and clasp them and bring them to the back of my skull and give myself a little head massage. Maybe even use the thumbs to give myself a neck massage. It's very nice. Holding this, hearing that breath. And then on your next breath, release your arms and slowly begin to rise up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. The head's the very last thing to come up. And you're at the top of your mat. And let's go ahead and reach our hands up towards the ceiling for a mountain pose. And then we're going to exhale into Tadasana. Now, this is where it gets kind of hard. We're going to turn it on. We're going to lift our shoulders up to our ears and roll them back. And then we're going to squeeze our face and squeeze our arms and squeeze our fingers and squeeze our belly button in towards our spine. Squeeze our glutes. Lift the kneecaps and squeeze the thighs. Squeeze the calf muscles, lift all 10 toes, squeezing. Maybe you're shaking. Keep going, keep squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then release it all and just melt. Whew, doesn't that feel better? And we're going to do a little bit of balance. So you have a couple of options. You can stay on your mat. If you're on carpet at home, sometimes that's a little too soft. So you might want to step off the mat. If you're still not stable on the carpet, then you might want to come over to a wall where you can hold on or find a chair that you can hold on to. So let's go ahead and make our little adjustments for some light balance. So once we're there, find your block and then take that to the space that you've decided to do your balance and set the block on the floor. And then with your right foot, go ahead and stand on your block. And just lift that foot. Lift the left foot up. Just lift it, lift it, lift it. Maybe put your hands even on your waist and lift, 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 lift. And then from here, we're going to straighten a leg. Straighten, straighten, hold it, and then slowly lower it down. And then we're going to switch sides. We're going to gently step off the block. And this time we're going to place the opposite foot on the block and lift up. And then just begin to play around with it and bend that knee. Lift, 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 lift. And then keep the knee up, up, up. Hold on to your chair, hold on to the wall, and then maybe straighten that leg. And if you need to step down, that is okay. Remembering that sides are a little bit different. Holding that up and lifting, lifting, lifting. Remembering your word. Allowing yourself forgiveness if you don't do it just perfectly the first time. And then go ahead and come off that block. Nice work. And then let's take care of our ankle because that was a little bit of work on both sides. So just pressing your foot into the mat, your toes into the mat, and then just rotate your ankles and rotate them to the other side. And then do the other side. Are you still breathing, hearing that breath? Let's reconnect our breath. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice work. We're going to do one more official yoga balance pose. So placing all of your weight on your standing leg, let's make that the right leg. And we're going to do a tree pose. Avoiding your knee area, just setting up your tree, pressing your hands together. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is as far as you take your tree. Or maybe you begin to grow your branches up towards the ceiling. Maybe you even challenge yourself and make it a windy day. And holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Let's set up the other side. So setting up that standing leg, pressing your palms together. And maybe this is as far as you take it. Maybe you grow your tree. And if you made it windy on one side, try making it windy on the other side. But remember that sides are a little different. Our balance is a little better on one side versus the other. And then release. And let's go ahead and step away from the wall or your chair, wherever you were, and come back to the very top of your mat. And let's bring our feet about hip distance apart. Sweep our hands up towards the ceiling, reach, 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 reach. And then exhale, take a little fold. Inhale, halfway lift. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. We want the back to be just as flat as it can be, as though you could place something, maybe a glass of water, and it wouldn't spill. And then exhale, pressure hands down and come right back onto your tabletop. We're not going to stay here long, so we don't really need to fold our mats. And then on your next breath, we're going to come into a pigeon pose. We're going to do that from our tabletop. So just gazing at your right knee, you're going to guide your right knee towards your right wrist. And then the toes of the right foot are going to come to the outside edge of the mat. And then your left leg is going to slide back right behind you. Now, if pigeon pose is not for you, there is another way to do this. So those of you that are able to do the traditional pigeon, I'm going to let you go ahead and come on down and take your pigeon pose. I'm going to show the rest of you an alternative, which is to come onto your back and then just bend both knees and reach the right leg up, and then bend the left knee and place that left ankle right over the right knee. And you can take your hands, reach them through, and give a little pull towards your face, drawing your toes towards your forehead. And you might even want to rock side to side. This is called reverse pigeon. It's every bit as beneficial as the other one. It's just a different variety. There's nothing wrong with doing this. So I'm going to go back and meet those in traditional pigeon, and those that are in reverse pigeon, just enjoy. And so we're here for about another breath, breathing in, exhaling out. And then on your next breath, we're going to slowly come up and switch sides. So if you're in reverse pigeon, you're just going to switch sides. If you are in traditional pigeon, you're going to just slide that right knee back underneath the hip, come back into your tabletop, and then turn on your pigeon on the left side, just bringing that knee to the left wrist, and then reaching back with the right foot. And then coming on down from proud pigeon into full pigeon, and just staying here. Maybe you have the flexibility to bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, or maybe you just stay on your elbows. Just stay and enjoy. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale and exhale. Nice work. And then we're going to come out of our pigeon, whichever variety you took. And we're going to meet up in an easy pose, or also known as fire log. So waiting for everybody to get to this position. If you were down in reverse pigeon, just take your time, roll over to your right side, and work your way up gently, pressing your sit bones into the mat. Let's go ahead, once we're here, reach our shoulders up towards our ears, roll them back open, and we're going to take care of our neck and this whole region back here where we hold so much tension and we store a lot of problems that we don't need to walk around with. So let's take care of that. Let's go ahead and raise the right hand, reach it all the way across until we find our left ear. And then draw our right ear towards our right shoulder. Maybe you close your eyes here and take a deep breath in, deep breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so nice to get rid of all those problems. And then taking that same hand, placing it on the back of your skull, and then just drawing your nose to your right armpit. Maybe even try to see the other side of your mat where the carpet is or the floor is. Holding this, feeling it in your spine. Breathing your Ujjayi breath. And then releasing this. Before we do the other side, let's just begin to roll our neck side to side. Rolling, dropping the chin down. Maybe we look at one side of the room, and then we roll and look at the other side of the room. Just rolling that neck, hearing our breath. And then coming back to neutral so we can take care of the left side. So go ahead and raise that left hand, reach it all the way across, find your right ear, draw that left ear to the left shoulder. Maybe you close the eyes, it's so easy to do that, it's so relaxing. Inhale, exhale, breathing in, breathing out. And then release that. Let's take that same hand, place it on the back of your skull, and draw your nose to your left armpit. Try to see the back of the floor or the carpet, feeling that in your spine. Inhale, exhale. So nice. Inhale, exhale, and release. Let's take care of our shoulders one more time. Let's just roll our shoulders like we did towards the beginning. Rolling the shoulders in one direction and then reversing those rolls in the other direction. And then on your next breath, we're going to make our way down to the floor. So go ahead and bring the knees up and twist your body around very, very gently. And just come down gently, gently onto your elbows. Come all the way down. Let's go ahead and keep the knees bent. And we're going to windshield wipe again. We're going to bring our arms out to a T and we're going to draw the knees to the right. Inhale, bring them back up to the middle. Exhale, draw the knees to the left. Inhale, bring them back up to the middle. Exhale, draw the knees to the right. Inhale, bring them back up to the middle. One more. Exhale, draw them to the left. Inhale, back up to the middle. And then staying like this, go ahead and clasp your hands together and draw your right knee in. And you're just going to try to bring your knee as close as you can in towards your shoulder. Now, it will not touch. It's just a stretch, but it feels so nice. And stretch, and stretch. And then releasing the left hand, just let it fall to your side. So you're just clasping your right knee with your right hand. Go ahead and open up at the hip and draw that knee to the side of your body. It's probably not going to touch the floor unless you are very flexible. So even if it just hangs like this, just support it. It should feel really nice. It's a hip opener. Should feel really, really nice. If you find that your left hip has come up off the mat, just readjust and just press that back down again. Press that left hip right back down again. Holding this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let's replace that foot to meet the left foot. And drop that right hand and take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Let's take a lion's breath here. Take a deep breath in and take a lion's breath out. Through the mouth. Should feel really nice. And then on your next breath, go ahead and take your hands and clasp them over the left knee and draw that knee towards that left shoulder. Remember, it's not going to touch. And I should have said this on the right side, but this is a good opportunity if you want to just roll out and reverse your ankles. It's just a nice thing to do in this position. And then releasing that right arm, holding onto the knee with the left. Just draw it out, almost like opening a door. Just draw that knee. It won't touch the floor. Just a hip opener that feels nice. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then let's send that knee right back to where the other knee is. Nice work. Let's go ahead and draw the knees in. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe a little rock side to side. And an option to turn this into a happy baby, grabbing the outside edges of your feet or your big toe and your second toe, making some little gentle rocks side to side. Feels so nice and so relaxing. And then we're going to go ahead and draw our feet up into a waterfall pose. And now you can support your legs if you like, or you can just leave your hands to your side. Draw your toes in towards your forehead, and we're just going to hold this. I'm not going to do anything else. Just hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bend the knees. Allow them to hover right over the hips. And let's go ahead and send the arms out into a T. We're setting up for a supine twist here. So let's take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on your exhale, let those knees just fall over to the right side. Take your gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe if you want a deeper stretch, extend that outside leg and just stay. Allow yourself to be still. Inhale, exhale. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then on your next breath, release all of that and just draw those knees right back over to hover, right over your hips. Let's take a nice deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, let those knees fall to the left. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Whatever you did on the right side, try to do it on the left side. If you extended a leg, go ahead and do that. If you have an injury, back away from that and just take it easy. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nice work. And then on your next breath, go ahead and release that and bring the knees just to hover right over the hips. And we're going to, from here, come into a butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana pose where you just press the soles of the feet together. And we're in the air, our feet are in the air. We're going to slowly lower them down to the mat. This is a little bit of abdominal work. So just hang on, you've got this, all the way until the feet touch the mat. Good. And then relax. And then once they touch the mat, maybe take your hands and place them on your thighs and just rest them and give it a little gentle push. Notice if your low back is arched and if it's come up off the mat. And if it has, just squeeze it gently back into the mat. And then take your right foot and bring it out wide. And take your left foot and bring it out wide. And allow your hands to just fall to your side, palms facing the ceiling. We're setting up for Shavasana. Go ahead and close your eyes and just roll your head side to side. Really exaggerate the roll so you feel it in your neck. Just moving that along with your breath. And then come back to neutral and focus on that little spot right in between your eyebrows where we furrow our brows and we don't even know we're doing it. And just soften there. Soften in your face, soften in your smile, soften in your cheeks. If your tongue is stuck to the roof of your mouth, just let it drop right into your lower palate. If your jaw is, or your teeth are a little bit clenched and your jaw feels tight, just move it side to side. Just wiggle it side to side. And then think about your shoulders. Oh, we carry so much into our shoulders each day. Just let them melt. And let them melt deeper, right into your mat. And let your elbows melt right into your mat. Let your hands melt right into your mat, your wrists. And think about your chest as it rises and falls with your breath. And just relax there. Don't even worry about counting your breath. Just relax. natural breath. Relax through your abdominal cavity. Let go of any residual tension you're holding in your hips. Relax your thighs, quads, your knees, your calves, all the way to your ankles, to the tops of your feet, to the bottoms of your feet. Close your eyes and melt. Just melt into your mat. Breathing in, exhaling out, allowing for stillness, just staying. Inhale, exhale. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Stay for about 4 more breaths right here. And very gently, very slowly with intention, begin to awaken your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. You're still laying down, you're still relaxed. Rotating your ankles and your wrists. Maybe moving your neck side to side, releasing any tension or strain you're holding there. Option to draw your knees up and windshield wipe them side to side. Feeling your breath as your chest rises and falls. Option to draw your knees into your chest. Maybe give yourself a hug. Maybe turn that into a happy baby. Anything to just awaken the body. Any kind of movement. Slowly, deliberately, with your breath. Enjoying that. Good. And then on your next breath, let's turn our body into a pencil. Come back into a Shavasana. Everything is on the mat. Nothing is lifted. Feet are flat on the mat. Point your toes. Reach towards that front wall and reach your arms over your head towards the wall right behind you. And just squeeze. Let's turn everything back on. Let's build a fire and turn on our body. So squeeze your face. Squeeze your arms. Squeeze your abs. Lift your kneecaps so you're squeezing your thighs. Squeeze your calf muscles. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Maybe the body is just shaking right now. Squeeze, 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 and then relax. Just melt right back into your mat. Arms come right back by your body side. Maybe the palms are facing the ceiling. And just let go of it all. And then on your next breath, go ahead and roll to your right side body. And you can make a little pillow with your right arm in a fetal position, knees kind of drawn up a little bit. And let's reconnect that breath again. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, surprised to see somebody. Exhale, fogging up that mirror. And then on your next breath, when you're ready, come back into a seated position, pressing those sit bones into your mat, sitting up with a tall spine, taking your time, no rush, no hurry, and finding a comfortable seated position. If easy pose is not right for you, you can always make it into a bound angle or into a butterfly. You can send those legs out in front of you into a comfortable position where your feet are facing the ceiling. You can even sit on your shins. Lots of different options. So whatever is easiest on your knees, your hips, your joints, find that position and press those sit bones into the mat. Let's go ahead and imagine again that that little string is holding our head up from the ceiling and creating all that length. Let's bring our shoulders up towards our ears, roll them back, nice. And then bring our fingertips to either side of our body. We're gonna go ahead and sweep our arms up towards the ceiling, reach, 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 reach. Palms come together, and then we're gonna draw them down to heart center. Go ahead and press your fingertips together, a little tug of war, pressing, pressing, pressing. And then we're gonna rotate our fingertips down towards the mat. Look at your veins. Pinkies try to touch the body. And I know this might feel a little uncomfortable, but this is so good for all that computer work you do and cell phone work you do, in cooking that you do, use of your wrists and your hands, holding this. And then slowly rotate the fingers back up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and separate the hands, bring them down to your mat or to the floor and take a little bend forward, bringing your chest down towards your mat. And then slowly come back up. Hands come to your knees or back to heart center, whichever is most comfortable for you. Namaste.